All right, so how are you doing, Koji?
I'm doing great.
I'm Michael Bonanni. I'm with the State Times college newspaper, and it's good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So I'm going to ask you a couple questions. I hopefully won't take up too much time. And here we go. Okay. So, how long have you been coming back to Oneonta?
I think it's been 3 years. I think I've been playing house shows here, and I've had the honor of actually playing at the university and speaking here at the university twice now.
Mm-hmm. And how has it been compared? Like, how did the house shows compare to shows like this?
The house shows were a little more raucous and intimate, just because it was about as many people in a much smaller place.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just different. But I thought tonight was really great because there was more of a official vibe to it. Had more of like a concert vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
So they were very much their own sort of unique thing, and in both cases I had a ball. So
And do you prefer one over the other, though?
I can't say that I prefer either, because I think when I play shows, I kind of value the fact that every night, every show to show is a different, unique experience. And so for me, it's a way to learn about the world, and it informs my craft, whether on stage or in the studio, and it informs how I'm living, just to meet people under different circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
So I value both the same.
All
Yeah.
right. Now, with Warped Tour, I noticed you were on the summer Warped Tour when the Acoustic Basement was touring with them.
That's right.
What prompted you to join with Warped Tour?
Well, they asked me to do it. And at first I was like, that makes no sense, because Warped Tour, you think 9 stages, 10 stages of bands, and where is there room for an acoustic guy?
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out they're doing this acoustic stage called the Acoustic Basement, which Brian Marquis, who is on this tour, he curates now every year, and he asked me to do it, and I said yes. Yeah.
Was it a different experience for doing a summer tour than what you're usually used to?
Well, I've never done a tour outside, and it's hot every day, and there's 20,000 people every day, and it's something that you grow up going to see and never think you're going to play. And I would say that because of the heat exhaustion, but also having the honor to be a part of it, it was just very dreamlike every day. I loved it. I'll do it
Cool.
again, if they'll ask me again.
Hopefully they'll ask you again back this year.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Now, with this tour, was it a surprise that you were coming to Oneonta?
Yeah, because we had, I think, 2 days off this tour, and SUNY Oneonta hit us up to come here, and they were like, would that be cool? And I was the one that wrote back that was like, yes, 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 all capital letters, like,
So
let's do it. We have to do it, yeah.
So you were the one who was instigating that we should go to Oneonta, we should totally hit this place up.
Well, all of us are punk guys, and punks don't like taking days off.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. When we tour hard. And so we don't, as much as we like having time off, I guess, like, we're here to play, So everyone was down to play, but I was the one kind of saying, like, this is going to be, like, I wrote back to the booking agent and to Brian and said, we have to go. It's one of the best places that this tour is going to go. Yeah.
Cool. We feel honored. Thank you. Now, you talked about why you loved it so much. What keeps you initially coming back to Oneonta, though?
Oh, just the people. There's great community here, which I try to say over and over again, because sometimes you can easily take for granted the things that are familiar to you, that are your daily surroundings. You can take them for granted and not know that at other college campuses, even other SUNY campuses, that you don't have a music scene like this. And so the shows that I've played here are really, truly special, and I think it's a really wonderful moment in time that's happening here because of the generation of students that are currently attending this school. And the music program is, from what I understand, one of the best in the state, and from my experience, one of the best in the country. So I'm honored to have the relationship that I do, and I'll come back as long as Oneonta kids will have me.
Cool. So We're almost done. Okay, so you're an activist.
I'm an activist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's cool that you're doing that. But what are some of the current causes that you're a part of?
Well, it's like an unending list, you know. I think like you can't be bored if you're on this planet. You can't be bored because there's so many things to work on, you know. And I think it's really easy to default to complacency, to be really passive in your life, but it takes something else to go out and do something to express yourself, whether you're doing art or you're doing activism, pursuing anything. You know, it takes effort. So I'd say that, like, because I've had really positive experiences in volunteerism from the time that I was like a little child to now, yeah, I just feel like I have to go and give as much time as I can and participate in every cause that I can, because I have the time, I have a capacity to do that. And so by doing it and like leading by example, I want to show everyone that there's ways to get involved with every issue on a very small local level, whether it's here on campus or in the town of Oneonta or in the state of New York or in the United States, our country, or in this whole world. You can get involved with any issue that's important to you, and spend a little time of every day or even like once a week or once a month to make a difference on that issue. So for me right now, I'm always thinking about the environment, but I'm thinking about hydrofracking that is affecting you folks here in New York State, and especially us in Pennsylvania with Marcellus Shale. I'm thinking about social justice issues like child soldiering in Central Africa. I came here to Oneonta to talk about the issue of the LRA and the use of child soldiers in Central Africa. And from our experience here and on that tour, we were able to push through this plan that had been mandated by a piece of legislation that was passed by the Congress to like basically put to action a theoretical plan that the bill was made to like develop, you know. Mm-hmm. So we were able to just get the funding from the U.S. government to start implementing programs over in Central Africa, which is like outstanding, and Oneonta was a part of that, you know. So that's very much a part of my story, is all the places that I go and getting people engaged with different issues, whether it's something international or like national or local, like here. So I don't know. I know I just went on a crazy amount of tangents, but short answer, I care about everything. I hope the sum of my life is that I work towards peace and justice for all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Anything else you would like to say?
I want to say that if you're listening to me right now, I hope that you'll check out my friends Vinny Caruana, Jeff Rickley, Brian Marquis, and A Loss for Words, who I'm on tour with. I hope that you will keep following along with my story and check out my record that comes out in April on Run for Cover Records. The title is Crooked in My Mind, which I haven't told anyone before, so you heard it here first.
Oh, snap.
And I hope that if you're listening still, I hope that you're doing something awesome that fulfills you and you're surrounded with love.
During your set, you had spoke about how much support you'd garnered from, you know, all the people around you, but also how hard it was to convince certain people that your decision was the right one, and to get people like your parents and other people to back you. Are there certain people you couldn't get to back you that you wish you could have, and are there certain people that you're glad you proved wrong?
I don't know. Like, I don't want to sound vindictive or like, you know, like vengeful or something, but I know that I know that people in the past that maybe thought me pursuing music was stupid was coming from a couple different places. So, you know, I've had people from the music community who, for whatever reason, don't like what I'm doing. And I like, to their dismay, I feel like I want to say, like, I get that, because there's been times in my life where, you know, I don't appreciate other people making art as a matter of taste, or whether it's something that I take personal, or like whatever. Like, I've had that response to people doing what they do, and that's something that I'm trying to work on, because I want to be supportive of everyone pursuing what it is they're called to do. So I'm trying to be a lot less judgmental, and the farther I get in life and the farther I get in my music career, the more patient I am with everyone just being how they are. But if I can do anything, I want to just encourage folks. And when I'm talking about people that maybe I'm happy I proved wrong, when I'm looking back at it now, like whether it was high school teachers or college professors that were freaking out, being like, you don't focus enough on school, you don't focus enough on your art, you don't focus, because I'm an art school dropout. And I went to an art magnet school for film and video, and I went to, I had like a heavily art-based curriculum. And so I'd freak people out because they're just like, you focus too much on music. You need to, like, you have a bright future, a lot of potential, but you're just distracted, you know? And so when I started doing this, and I was like, yeah, I'm out here. I'm being a musician. I'm living my life. I was like, I'm feeling really great, because I was like, I showed you. You know, I showed you because you said I couldn't. But now I'm looking at it, and I'm like, those people were looking out for me in the way that they knew how to. So I can't even say that I'm mad at them now. So
you almost have to appreciate them for
Yeah.
their lack of support, or not lack of support, but for
Well,
trying to
that.
show you what was, what they
needed
knew
that.
was best.
You need a naysayer. You have something to work against. So, I don't know. I like everybody so much. So
Do you have any advice
it's hard for me to be mad.
for maybe young touring gig musicians that are ready to take that dive and give it their all, but they're on the fence, they're scared?
I feel like people have to leave the door open for kindness to come into their life, for generosity to come into their life. I think the way to do that is to be kind and generous yourself. And I think if you work really hard and you try your best to be self-aware, and to know if you're doing your best and be real about the things you need to work on, then you can take that step. But at the same time, forget what I'm saying. Just do what you want. You know, you have to learn by experience, because there's no amount of me telling you any sort of lessons that I've learned that are going to truly inform what you do. You have to go out and live and learn, and I think truly that experience is your best teacher. So for anyone that's afraid, I would say just own your fear and your doubt and master that and walk with it and move forward. That's what courage looks like. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. The positive energy is great, and everybody in the room knew it, and everybody was feeding off it. It was an awesome performance. So thanks a lot.
Man. Thank you very much.